Well, we've just left Chub Cay and we're on heading out to the very deep ocean. It's about 8,000 feet here. We can't go fishing at the moment because the island has fishing rights, but we'll be able to in probably about another mile drop a line. And today we're on our way to a place called Little Whale Cay, which I think is a undeveloped island. I hope so. And hopefully we'll be able to go to shore this time. The sea is as choppy as ever and makes for exhilarating sailing. This is a major sporting fishing area, so we had to wait until we were a long way offshore before dropping the line. I was the one who put out the line. I don't really know what I'm doing with fishing. Anyway, it was some time later that Chip noticed that the line was nearly bent over double. I had tightened the reel so much it did not spin, so goodness knows how long this poor fish had been on the line. As Chip reeled it in, I got a glimpse of the fish, and it was a big one, and more importantly, not another barracuda. Suddenly, the line went slack. It had got off the hook. Mind you, it was so big we probably wouldn't have got it in.
Oh, we still got our door. I think Chip is getting off the hook. Oh. Little one that got away.
We arrived after a 4-hour sail in Little Whale Cay. It is sheltered here and has beautiful, clear, blue turquoise waters. It's stunning. Sadly, it's another private island. But we eventually settled ourselves down, got the dinghy out and motored to visit our French and Swiss neighbours that were on catamarans. This was quite interesting as we muddled through our language barrier to communicate. It's really nice to meet them though. Then we dinghied to a small and uninhabited island nearby where we went to shore. We came across a shallow inlet which was a shark nursery. They were more scared of us than we were of them though. There was a big kerfuffle as we paddled nearby and off they went. Well, we went for a dinghy ride around Little Whale Cay and we met our neighbours, we had a lovely time and saw some baby sharks. And then we got back to our boat and the tide was coming in and it was rocking and rolling. So we've decided to move on to Bond Cay, which is where we are. Good morning.
Here we are leaving Bird Cay.
Bond
Cay.
Try
it again. These are bloopers. Okay, start all over. Right here we go. Here comes the camera.
Here we are leaving Bond Cay. And Chip is distracting me. We've got a very narrow channel to go through and I've gone off the line.
Oh dear. Beautiful, crystal clear water, nice beaches, little ones.
We're heading up to the Hoffman's Cay.
Yes,
and
White Cay.
Checking out a Blue Hole today and White Cay, and eventually ending up at Grand Harbor Cay where they have restaurants and bars and grocery stores and gasoline and all that kind of good stuff. Right now, there's a big cut between these islands, and it seems to have gone crazy. Really confused, high waves, a lot of currents, and we're going 7 to 8 knots at times through this passage, and very lumpy and fun.
A little safely. Good.
A lot of us have idyllic visions of the Bahamas being these beautiful islands and sandy beaches all around them. And the reality is very different. The reality is that one side of a lot of the islands is rocky and heavy, deep seas beating against it, and the ocean is quite ferocious out here at times. And that when you pull through the lee side of the island where the shallows are, then you see the idyllic beaches of clear blue water, sharks. And then on the ocean side again, we passed through a couple of islands with those big gap between them, and the ocean went nuts. I mean, it really, for about 5 minutes of sailing, the ocean was completely confused and out of control, and there's a huge current going there. So it's interesting sailing around here, and the reality is different than what I envisioned. But it's fun. You might get for anybody.
When we arrived at Hoffman Cay, we tried to anchor, I think 3 times total. The currents were a problem. You would drop the anchor, be drifting back on it 1 minute, and then next thing you know, the boat's floating over the anchor and heading another direction. So there was one boat already anchored there, seemed to have found the one sweet spot where currents were not a problem. So we ended up anchoring quite a ways back in the shallows to get away from the currents, and finally felt confident enough to leave the boat and got in the dinghy and went for a fairly long dinghy ride over to a little private beach there that had an alternate route up to the Blue Hole. We didn't see any wildlife on the way in, although we had sharks circling around the boat when we were trying to anchor at the 3 different locations. I think we had lemon sharks and maybe some nurse sharks, but not too much. Anyway, here we are landing at the beach, and we're going to discover the path up to the Blue Hole.
And here we are in Hoffman's Cay. Just arrived in the dinghy, and we're off to see if we can find the blue pool. Blue pool, yeah. It was only a short walk to the Blue Hole, but the pathway was very, very overgrown. And here we are, we have arrived at the Hoffman's Blue Hole. It's stunning. And you can see just, I'm not sure how deep it is, but you can see into the depth and chip through a white rock in, and we were watching it for, must have been a minute or so before it finally disappeared into the depths. It's just beautiful. I wanted to go for a swim, but we couldn't find a way down to get to the water and get out safely, although apparently there is a way. On the way back to Orion, we spotted a small turtle and we followed it for a little while, but it was clearly a little bit alarmed by us doing so, so eventually we left it alone. It's a beautiful coastline here, it's very rocky but very calm. As we made our way back to the boat, we passed a rock that I thought looked a bit like a bear. We also chatted to our neighbours in their beautiful boat, and they recommended us to go to Soldier Cay. So that's where we went to next. As soon as we anchored, we had some very beautiful visitors. This is a nurse shark in between our boat and Chip, who was on the dinghy. Chip and I are going to brave the water, even though we've seen quite a few sharks in these areas. Stingrays.
Yeah, they just see the back one moving away there.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.